everybody. How's it going? Welcome. We are going to jump into a virtual tour of the USS Hornet. Can you hear me okay? Hello. Hi, Spickles. Hello. So, this is very exciting, isn't it? It's very exciting. Are you excited? I'm very excited. Yeah. So we're gonna tour around virtually, but you could also get a real tour unvirtually too. In real life too. Yeah. Are you guys going to Carrier Con? It is next month. Isn't that crazy? It's in a month and a little bit. Actually, is it in exactly a month? A month and a few days? No, but February is a short month, so it's like, wait a second. It's like basically a month. I hope you're planning on going, because all of V-Dere will be there. And if you'd like to get $5 off, you can use this code here. V-Dere CC 25 for magic discount. Yeah, so we're gonna go on a virtual tour right now. Yeah, if that's okay with you guys. Yeah. Are we ready? Are we ready for a virtual tour? Hold on. Hello? Okay, hold on. Oh my god, wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. We're in the virtual tour.
Are we on?
We're on. We're live.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
We're live.
This is KBAK, Kirispica Radio. I'm coming at you live from Alameda, California. How are you doing today, Miss Kirispica?
I'm doing wonderful today. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. It's great to have you here aboard the USS Hornet Sea, Air, and Space Museum. And I'm so excited to show you the ship again, because this isn't your first tour, but it's definitely going to be more in depth.
Yeah. So I already had a pretty short tour previously. It was quite fun. Quite interesting, really.
Well, I'm glad I could oblige.
Yeah. Oh, could you introduce yourself to the chat, please?
Oh, sure I can. Well, there you go. I forgot to introduce myself. Being goofy already. Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriel Cherry. I am the marketing manager for the USS Hornet Sea, Air, Space Museum here in Alameda, California. And I am so happy to be meeting you all. Well, obviously virtually, but I'm so happy to show you guys today the USS Hornet CV-12 aircraft carrier. Now, I say CV-12 because, and this is your first question, so Ms. Kirispica, I might ask you some questions today too, so you gotta be ready, okay? It's like Jeopardy, okay? You gotta be ready. So here's for the big bucks, okay? Okay? Ready?
Oh God, not the questions. Okay. I'm gonna fail.
What? Okay, here's the question of the day. How many USS Hornets were there in history?
Chad, help me! How many USS Hornets were there in history? I'd say, is this the one and only? They're saying 3.
Ooh, you're getting a little cold there, Miss Spica.
At least 2?
Ooh, I don't know, Miss Spica.
Between
sure?
1
Final answer?
and 100?
100? Whoa, hey, I would love 100 USS Hornets. You know how many action figures we can get out of that, man? It's like G.I. Joe, man. It's like G.I. Joe. I love it.
8.
No,
is it 8?
Wait, how many?
8?
Ding, ding, ding. We got a winner.
Oh my God, we win, guys. Thank you.
So, Ms. Spica, in the United States Navy, there have been 8 USS Hornets. And we'll come over here and we'll take a look at this right now while I explain this. But there has not just been 1 USS Hornet. There has not been 2. There have been 8. Now, there's only been 2 that have been aircraft carriers. But we'll go through the history of the different Hornets. And it actually goes back to the Revolutionary War. In 1775, a commercial sailing ship was converted for the United States Navy's, the first iteration of the United States Navy, because obviously 1775 is when we became a real nation. That's Hornet 1. So if you can take a little look here, Mr. Cameraman, right there. That's Hornet 1 back in 1775. Wow. Hornet 2, Hornet 3, Hornet 4, Hornet 5, and then we started getting into the steel era of ships, and we got Hornet 6, 7, and then 8. Now, the reason there's multiple different versions of Hornet is because there were different functions for Hornet. But I'll get into that a little later. But this is the Hornet. This chunk of 3 is the Hornet you're sitting on right now. And this is actually the most modern Hornet, which is what we're on right now. But there have been 8 aircraft carriers named USS Hornet.
Oh.
Now, here's another question for you. What's an aircraft carrier?
It is a ship that carries aircrafts.
Yes, chat. She's 2 for 2. She's 2 for 2.
I'm winning.
Love it. That is very mindful of you, Miss Spirit Kirispica. Very demure.
Thank you.
Very cutesy. Very, very mindful. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. So, now an aircraft carrier is essentially a large ship. It's not a battleship, everybody. I know everyone thinks, okay, but they're all battleships. Well, they're not. Because an aircraft carrier is not designed for battle. It is designed to catch, launch, and store aircraft. Because when the aircraft carriers became a thing, and the Navy realized, oh, aircraft carriers are more effective than big guns. Because who here plays Azure Lane? You everyone know Azure Lane with the ship girls and the big cannons?
I've seen it.
Make jokes, but no. Actually, aircraft carriers became the front line of naval technology because the amount of strike power that an aircraft has far outweighed what a battleship could do. So the United States Navy, especially in World War II, started investing more in aircraft carriers. What we're standing on today, and Mr. Cameraman, we'll just a little pan around show. This is Hornet CV-12, the Essex class aircraft carrier. Now, I say Essex class because there are multiple classes of aircraft carrier. They're different designs. When we say a class, it's like a class of people. So, like a class of 2012, a class of 2005, a class of 09. Oh, wait, no, sorry. No. We're not talking about that. No. We're not talking about that game. But what you were seeing is a class of aircraft carrier. Now, this is the Essex class aircraft carrier. There was a class before then called the Yorktown class. Now, the Yorktown class actually had its own USS Hornet. That was Hornet CV-8. Now, who in chat can guess why USS Hornet CV-8 is very famous?
Okay, guys, why is CV-8 so famous? Why? Tell me. Quick. Doolittle Raiders? What does that mean? Oh,
the Raiders. That's absolutely right, Miss Kira speaking in chat. The Doolittle Raiders, they executed one of the most famous and most technologically seeming impossible feats in history. They launched massive B-24 bombers, B-25. They launched B-25 bombers off a flight deck, which is the USS Hornet, and it's not very big and long, which these bombers were so heavy, they weren't designed to go off aircraft carriers, but they figured out a way how to take different parts of the aircraft out to be able to make them lighter to where they were able to go and bomb Japan during World War II, because at that point, this was after Pearl Harbor, and so they helped boost morale for the American people to be able to get back in the fight. So Hornet's name is tied to some very large feats in history, especially in the United States Navy. But unfortunately, that USS Hornet that launched the dual rate, it's not the one we're on now, did sink in the Battle of Santa Cruz.
Oh, no.
However, here's another fun fact. Here's another question coming, okay? Was this ship always supposed to be called the USS Hornet, Mr. Kirispica? Was there a different name this ship had?
They're saying Kearsarge.
Oh my gosh, you guys are on top. Okay, who's reading on the Wikipedia page? I just want to know right now. If you're on Wikipedia, it's fine, but I'm going to tell you, there's a little troll in there. Someone put a little troll in there of information. I don't know if you can guess it, but there's a little troll in there.
They claim they're not reading the Wikipedia page.
They're not. I don't believe you. I don't believe you for 1 second. You must know it all. Then why are we doing this? Why are we doing the tour right now? I'm just gonna go home.
Yo, why don't they get up and do the tour?
Bye. Bye.
No,
bye,
come
everyone.
back.
Bye.
Oh wait, they've been to the museum before. Oh my god.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not really gonna go, but
It seems
But-
everybody's been to this museum before.
I guess everyone's been to the USS Hornet Museum. Okay, well, you guys can tell me. Take me on a tour. I don't know anything. Okay, you know your stuff. But yes, so Miss Spica, this ship was supposed to be called USS Kearsarge. The ship was laid down. It was supposed to be Kearsarge. However, when the USS Hornet CV-8 was sunk in the Battle of Santa Cruz, this ship's name was converted to be called USS Hornet in honor of that fallen ship. This has been done for several other ships in the United States Navy, most notably the other aircraft carriers, USS Lexington and Yorktown, which became Essex-class carriers later on. So this has been done before. Now, where are we at right now? Let's start talking about the actual ship. So where we're at right now is the hangar deck. Now, since your chat is so smart, let's ask them this question, Ms. Spica. What is the United States Navy doctrine say about where aircraft are supposed to be stored?
Oh, guys, do you know this? You better know this.
Yeah, I'm asking your chat. They know it.
Yeah, you guys are professionals. Come on. What do you mean, Give me the answer.
Okay. Can't big brain it now. Okay. I see how it is. Oh, I know it's Kearsarge, but I don't know what's on. I don't know that. I don't know. He must be making it up.
They're saying it's over.
It's so Jover.
Wait,
It's
we have an
Jover. Hi,
answer.
Joe.
We have an answer. It says that has changed over the years, but usually in the hangar deck.
That has changed over the years, but that is a negatory. Aircraft are supposed to be stored on the flight deck. They are brought down to the hangar deck for maintenance and also while flight operations are getting underway. But traditionally, you do store them on the flight deck. Now, in the modern Navy, for different carriers, that's a different case. However, during World War II, that was doctrine. So, however, you could store aircraft here. For example, aircraft carriers were sometimes used to transport ground-based aircraft to different locations. So, the hangar deck of the USS Hornet can carry about a little over 100 aircraft. But one of the cool things that the Essex class could do is they had these hooks that were tied to the beams, the steel beams here on top. So they could actually take aircraft and they could hang them up on the ceiling to be able to maximize the capacity. But they would also put aircraft up on top as well.
Ooh.
So we'll talk about some of those aircraft here. But let me ask you this question. What is the deck? So the deck we're on is, it's steel. Right here, down here on the ground. However, the flight deck, let me ask you this question, Miss People. What do you think the flight deck is made out of? So this deck is made of steel. What do you think the top is?
As somebody who knows nothing about materials, I'm going to say iron.
Yes. Iron? Does chat have anything to say? Actually, no, don't answer that. We got some nerds in there.
Plastics? I don't know. Wood?
Wood! Yes! The deck of the Essex class aircraft carriers is made of teak wood.
Oh, wow.
You want to know why? It's
Why?
pretty top secret, okay?
Because it was cheap.
It was cheaper to have wooden flight decks to be able to get the Essex class out because there were about 24 of them, and however there was 42 planned, I believe. But it was cheaper to be able to get these aircraft carriers out without having to worry about armoring them, because the whole theory is you should not have your aircraft carrier in line of sight of a battleship. It doesn't really work out. So we'll start the tour here, but let me ask you another question, Ms. Spica. What do you think that is?
That is rocket ship, but smaller.
It's a rocket, but it's a special kind of rocket.
It
makes a very big boom.
Oh no, a nuclear rocket.
So, it is theorized that during the 1960s and during the Cold War, that the USS Hornet carried nuclear weapons aboard. We don't know this to be sure. I can neither confirm nor deny this without the approval of Boss Lady. Hey, Boss Lady. But this is an example of a nuclear warhead that the Hornet would have aboard.
Wow. It's just there.
Yeah, I know. I should touch it.
Oh God, no, don't do it.
Touch. You ever seen SpongeBob and you know how Patrick's like, oh, Jeffrey, jellyfish, I have to touch you. Can you imagine somebody doing that here on a nuclear warhead?
Oh no.
I did that.
Is that safe?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not that my hand's kind of hurting right now and kind of glowing green, and then I might turn into the Incredible Hulk later. Oh, but here's an example of some of the bombs that aircraft would have loaded up on them. So here's some of the racks, the storage racks. Now, these are decommissioned. We don't have live weapons here aboard the ship.
So it's safe. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of heavy, so if you pick it up and drop it on your toe, safe is a relative word. Are there any questions, though, I can answer before we carry on?
Cat, do you have any questions?
Any questions at all?
Any questions? You got 10 seconds.
Okay, 10.
Are those Corsairs?
9.
What are Corsairs?
These are not Corsairs. Ms. Spica, they are referring to a type of aircraft. We actually, unfortunately, the USS Hornet does not have a Corsair.
What is a Corsair, though?
It's a type of propeller plane that was used during World War II. It was used by the United States Navy for a while. However, the Navy didn't really like the design. So guess what the Navy does when they don't like things, Ms. Spica? They give it to the Marine Corps.
Ah!
Because the Marines get the stuff the Navy does not want. Any other questions before we carry on? I talk about this aircraft.
Let's see. Any other questions? Gonna go to where Nixon greeted the men from the moon were.
So yeah, we actually will go over there. Man, we actually have somebody who's been aboard the ship in chat right now. Man, you're ruining all the surprises. You're ruining all the surprises. Listen, chat.
Hey,
don't
stop
ruin the
spoiling.
surprises for Miss Spica. Don't
No
ruin the surprises for her.
spoiling.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Oh my gosh. Guys. So this is the FM2 Wildcat. Now, this is not a combat aircraft. This was a training variant that was used during the war to train pilots before they went out to sea, and later used the Hellcat, which is a more advanced propeller plane and tougher aircraft used by the United States Navy during World War II.
Wildcat, Hellcat? Why are they all cats?
Because we like. Do you not like cats?
Yes, I love cats.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's fantastic. So, the F-2 Wildcat, this is a special aircraft because it's actually one that has been restored in-house here at the USS Hornet. Little fun fact. We restore all of our aircraft here in-house. We get them from different sources, and a lot of the times they're in bad condition. Matter of fact, this was in bad condition. Want to know why, Ms. Spica?
It's open.
It's open, but there's something special where we found this aircraft. This was found in the bottom of Lake Michigan.
So crashed into the water.
Yes, ma'am. So it was actually crashed because, again, it was a training aircraft, so there was probably a pilot who made a little mistake.
Oh, no.
It was found in the bottom of Lake Michigan and then brought here to USS Hornet and fully restored by our volunteers here aboard the ship. The USS Hornet is primarily a volunteer-run organization, and so we have an amazing restoration crew that helps to get these aircraft back up and running. Anybody can volunteer.
Was the pilot okay?
You know, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna say it's okay. We're gonna say it's okay. He's okay. He's okay. But you probably noticed the wings are folded here. Now, the reason that is because the idea was to store as many aircraft as possible on the aircraft carrier. And the best way to do that, and the Navy still does it today, because they have carrier-based aircraft have folding wings, is to be able to put them in different configurations to be able to store and maximize storage space. Hi, boss.
Hi, boss.
She says, hi, boss. Here, show him boss.
Boss. Hi, boss.
That's boss. That's boss lady. So, obviously, we'll be able to fold the aircraft wings to be able to store them up on the flight deck to be able to maximize. Now, we're going to turn around here to a larger propeller aircraft from World War II.
Ooh, shiny.
This is Miss June. Everybody say hi, Miss June.
Hi, Miss June.
Hi, Miss June. I'm just going to let you know this right now. And I actually told another VTuber I did a tour with, but Miss June is a hag VTuber. She's known as a hag. Man, we're gonna fix her up, right? We're gonna get her L2D model. We're gonna get the streams. We're gonna get the OBS stuff. We're gonna get everything. We're gonna get everything.
Is she
We're gonna get
pre-debut?
Well, hey, you guys can't see this. You guys, hey, it's pre-debut. You can't reveal.
Top
This is
secret,
1.0
guys.
Miss June. This is 1.0.
She's beautiful.
Okay? Get a special look. There you go. See, Miss Spica already beat y'all to it. She claimed her. Well, Miss June here is a TBM Avenger torpedo bomber. Now, what is a torpedo bomber? Torpedo bombers take torpedoes and they launch them like underwater missiles into the side of aircraft. Ideally, you want to sink battleships with this.
That's so cool. Oh my god.
So let's take a look at what Miss June's packing here. This is an example of the warhead that Miss June would have. And you notice how large these cargo bay doors are. Matter of fact, if I go underneath here, look how crazy this is. I don't know if Jack can see here. I'll get my handy flashlight out here. But you'll see right here all of the internal components. That's because there was a release mechanism that would drop this into the water. However, that can only be done at a certain speed. Because if you go too fast, the warhead won't arm. You go too slow, you're going to get shot out of the sky. Because ideally, torpedo bombers were made to be rough and tough because they had to fly close to the water at a certain speed, rather slowly, in fact, launch the torpedo and then pull away before it was too late. Very dangerous profession during World War II.
Wow.
But you notice how big this aircraft is, Miss Spica. Well,
That's
for reference,
gigantic.
here's a good reference point. I am 6'5", so I am a large human being.
My gosh. Miss June is beautiful.
Miss June is big and beautiful. We love Miss June. But look at these wings. Look at this wingspan. Miss June has this. You notice this? The wings fold. You know why? Why are the wings folded, Miss Spica?
Because Miss June has to hide her beauty from the world.
But she does have to hide her beauty, though. But I did say it earlier. Wow, chat, she's not even listening to me
They saying
anymore.
storage?
It's storage. See, look, Miss Spica, you got too infatuated. You forgot the facts.
She's too hypnotizing. I couldn't help it.
But these were folded for storage purposes. But also, you would fold them to be able to take them from a hangar deck up to the flight deck. And you know how we get aircraft from the hangar deck to the flight deck? It's a special thing that lifts you up.
Oh, the platform?
There's a platform, but what's another word for it? Imagine you're in there. You get to hear the nice music.
Escalators.
You get squished by a bunch of people. Did you say escalator? Hey, hold on there. Hold on there. Not yet. We're not talking about the escalator just yet. We're talking about the elevator.
Wow.
Now this is elevator 1. Notice how
That's
large
huge.
this is.
Yeah.
This is big. What's funny enough is as part of our collection here aboard the USS Hornet aircraft, we actually have an F-14 Tomcat. I don't know if you've seen the movie Top Gun, Miss Spica, but that aircraft was a heavily featured in the star of that movie. But it's a massive aircraft. We're able to move that up and down. All of our elevators work. I think we're actually the only SS class museum, because there are 4 of them in total around the country, that has all 3 elevators working.
Do you use it on a regular basis to go up?
Yeah. So yes, we do, Miss Spica. Sometimes if we have big events here on the Hornet and we have to get a lot of equipment up, we bring them up on the elevator.
That's
Or if we're
nifty.
moving aircraft around, because something we do pretty often is we move aircraft around into different configurations of the museum. to be able to enhance our exhibits.
Oh, wow.
But still works. And guess what? That's thanks to our volunteers helping get her up and running.
Wow.
Are there any questions?
Can we see one of these crafts go on the elevator? Is that possible?
Well, if you have $3,000.
Oh. Never mind.
So the power that's needed to move the elevators is very large. So usually when we're moving the elevators, the museum has already budgeted that we do have to use that power allocation because we don't have our own generators. We have to we're hooked up to the pier over here, but we are able to run them. However, we have to be very selective of when they use that. As much as I would love to take you guys on an elevator ride, I don't think I can afford to pay $3,000 to my boss lady.
Oh my gosh. How long does it usually take to get an aircraft on the flight deck?
So get it up to the flight deck?
Yeah.
In museum or when the carrier was active?
Museum.
Well, it really depends what day of week they ask me to come in and pull it. I have done that one time. I did push it one time myself. But usually it takes about, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But during World War II, they could get aircraft up to the flight deck in less than 5 minutes.
That's insane.
And you know how fast that elevator goes?
20 seconds.
Less than that.
10 seconds.
In 8 seconds, you can get an aircraft from this deck up to the flight deck in less than 8.
Oh my god, that's so fast. I was thinking like a very slow whirring elevator upwards.
No, ma'am. When we're doing flight operations, when flight operations are happening on the Hornet and any carrier, the elevators are constantly firing off because they're bringing aircraft from the below up to the top to get fueled and to get their munitions and get underway. So it is a constant process they're doing.
Wow. No wonder it's so expensive.
So this is another aircraft. I love this aircraft. Okay, you guys have to pay for the tour right here. Sub to Miss Spica. The paid tour starts here. Sorry, paywall, microtransactions, and all that stuff. From games.
No.
Yeah, so you got to pay $5. You get a loot box. You're gonna get a loot box, and maybe we'll give a tour. Maybe.
Oh, it's like a gotcha box.
Exactly. Roll on the banner, guys. Come on, roll for Miss June. Who here would roll for Miss June? I roll. For
Me.
I
I'm Miss June.
I got the credit card, everything, Miss June. I got you. I need your PNG. So, this aircraft right here. This aircraft is special. It is the FAU-1 Crusader. Now, the Crusader was a special aircraft for numerous reasons, but I'll go in order here. Give you a little look inside here.
Oh, wow. What is that?
Look at that interior.
Oh my god. What does this part do?
Hello. This is the jet intake. Air is sucked in through here and goes out the other end, and that's how you get the jet engine working.
Oh, MD, thank you for the super chat. They said, here's my roll. Did they get anything? Were they unlucky?
Well, Miss Spica, here's a question. Have you seen that movie, The Incredibles?
Yeah.
Darling, I say no capes, darling, no capes. You get sucked into a jet engine. We don't like that. No capes, darling, no capes.
Unlucky.
How unfortunate that you decide to wear that ugly thing. You wear the cape over here and you wang it. It's unworthy. I don't like it. So, I like Edna mode. I don't know about you. I like Edna. Miss Edna's pretty cool. So, this aircraft was special because it did not have guided missiles. So, like you see in video games and all this stuff when you have the guided missiles and you got to lock on target. Well, the FA Crusader didn't have that. The FA Crusader was a dying breed of aircraft because it was known as the last gunfighter. So, it had a cowboy hat and all that stuff. It's like, your time is up.
Oh no, she's dying. She's dying out.
but the F-8 Crusader was a really cool aircraft because it was designed to be an interceptor that was designed for dogfighting. Dogfighting meaning fighting other aircraft ship to ship. So basically, you've seen Star Wars and you've seen TIE fighters versus X-Wings. This ship was doing that.
Wow.
Well, here's another cool part about this aircraft. See this little top part right here? See this little crevice?
Mm-hmm.
So this actually can remove itself from the body of the aircraft. So this part and this part would separate.
Oh, well,
now why
does
is that?
it do that?
Well, here's why it doesn't. So imagine my fingers here are the aircraft, right?
Mm.
And imagine these are the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the biggest challenges in naval aviation is trying to keep a stable landing. Pilots are graded, like in school, on their landings. So as the aircraft is going down, and as it's going to the flight deck, you have to raise your nose so that way you can catch a tail hook. We'll talk about a tail hook in a minute here, but you try to catch a hook that is attached to a cable. Well, sorry, you have a hook and you're trying to catch a cable. But the cool part about the Crusader is that it could stay level. Why? Because as it's coming in for a landing here, and this is my phone, so watch. The wing, it could keep its nose down and the wings could fold up to help, basically like it was doing this, instead it stays stable. So it's coming in at an angle that is a lot smoother, especially with the pilot being able to see.
Oh.
This is called changing your angle of incidence with the wings. Angle of incidence is where air meets the body.
Wow.
Or so to speak. But this aircraft was capable of changing its angle of incidence, which is very unique to the Crusader. And I believe the Corsair 2 did that, but could be mistaken there. Are there any questions?
Have you piloted a plane before?
Miss Spica, I am too big to fly a plane. I told my mama when I was young, Mom, I want to be a pilot. You know what she told me? She said, son, you are 8 years old and you are almost half my size. You are not going to be a pilot. You are going to play sports.
So
never reality check, but I'm very happy. If I didn't go do that, I wouldn't be talking to you right now, Miss Spica. But I love aviation. I love the Navy, and I love the museum. So it is a privilege to be able to do that. I do wish I could fly an aircraft, but no, also maybe I'm not going to be the best pilot because I might start doing it flying how like I do in Ace Combat 7. Like,
I see.
Any other questions?
Somebody in chat asked, I'd love to know why that methodology was changed. It sounds like flaps is the modern version for commercial aircraft.
Sorry, say that again?
I said, I'd love to know why that methodology was changed. It sounds like flaps is the modern version for commercial aircraft.
I can't answer that question, but I do know mainly because the producer behind the F-8 Crusader did go out of business, or it was bought by Boeing. And I do believe that it just was not practical in the long sense, or it was becoming more expensive per unit. So if they can make aircraft cheaper and safe, then ideally they will cut features like that. I don't know why they changed that methodology. It was a good design. However, it was unique to the F-8 Crusader's airframe and its design. Not every aircraft is equal, and not every aircraft is designed the same for specific reasons.
Oh, somebody else in chat wants to know what the newest aircraft on board is.
From what?
What is the newest aircraft that you have?
The newest aircraft they're rolling out right now? That would actually be the F-35 Lightning II.
Lightning.
That's one of the newest fighter jets that they have right now.
Oh, when was that built?
F-35 Lightning II, I believe, was 2003. I could be mistaken off the top of my head here, but it is a late 90s, early 2000s design that has been developed over a period of time and is now one of the most advanced fighter jets in the world.
Oh.
Pretty sure somebody might go on Google and correct me right now, but just to let you know, can't Google my mind right now because I don't want to get my phone out and then the speaker's like, oh, why are you on your phone? Oh my gosh, you're on your phone right now. Oh my gosh.
Oh, somebody also wants to know how were aircraft carriers powered during the war?
Through their power plants. Diesel.
Power plants.
Diesel, steam. You may go to the fire room, burning oil. Oil is what made the Navy run. Can you guess what the aircraft carriers nowadays run on, Miss Spica?
The same thing?
Nope.
Oh.
Oil's too expensive, too finite. We actually
Nuclear?
just saw a missile.
Is it
there
actually?
you go.
Oh.
Nuclear-powered aircraft carriers.
Wow.
First nuclear-powered aircraft carrier was actually USS Enterprise CVN-65. But we started with nuclear aircraft carriers for one specific reason. It was cheaper.
It's cheaper.
The Navy loves it when they can make. They didn't do it because they wanted to go green. They did it because they wanted it to be cheaper. But it also increases the lifespan of these aircraft carriers. For example, USS Enterprise CVN-65 was brought in the late 1960s and 1970s, but recently got decommissioned and is now being scrapped in the modern age. Can you imagine how long that lifespan was, Ms. Spica? Quite a while.
Over 5 decades?
There you go.
Wow. You really know your stuff, mercenary BDU.
There you go. He knows his stuff. See, why does he get the tour? Why am I? I could be at McDonald's. I could be having a McRib. It could be nasty, but I would eat it anyways just to say I had one. I don't know. My mom says I can't go to McDonald's because I eat too many chicken nuggies.
Oh, the chicken nuggies.
Hey, sometimes you just want to go get a 20-piece of chicken nuggies. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong?
Never had a McRib. Is that a thing?
You don't want to eat, Miss Spigot. You never want to have a McRib. Okay, you never want to have that. That's literal torture to yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
Okay.
But, anyways, this is one of my favorite aircraft. This is the A4 Skyhawk. However, this is a training variant of the A4 Skyhawk. This is one of the fastest, most maneuverable aircraft in the United States Navy history and was easily the workhorse of the Vietnam War. Now, this aircraft is very unique, and this is on the base Skyhawks as well, but I love this feature because this aircraft has a natural way of slowing itself down. So, Ms. Spica, what do you think drag is? Just when I say drag, like, oh, such a drag. What do you think drag does to an aircraft?
Drag to do with the wind? The wind drags against it?
Okay, yes. So what do you think it does when it pushes against the aircraft? It slows it down. There you go. So one of the things with the A4 that this aircraft was naturally able to do without hydraulics or anything is that it was able to increase its drag. Notice how on the wings, this part is falling forward. This helps to increase drag on the aircraft, especially as it's slowing down and coming in for a landing. But when it launches off the deck and it gets up in the air and gets up to speed, naturally, this starts coming up here.
Oh.
And it makes more of a blade. Look how lean this is. More of a blade, very smooth, right? Not very rigid. But as it slows down and it comes back in for a landing,
more drag.
It starts to increase the drag. But this is natural. There are no hydraulics that control that aspect.
Ooh.
Now, let's go around here. I'm going to explain to you how aircraft land. Unless someone wants to explain that to Miss Spica, and then I don't have to do it.
No, please.
Okay. Now, I'm going to stop myself right here. Because I did it, as you know, Miss Spica, I did a tour with Miss Mint. And people made fun of me at this section. So please, chat, be kind, okay?
Huh?
Just tell them to be kind.
Be kind. I don't know what's happening.
So, what is this? Well, this is a torsion bar. Now, a torsion bar is attached to a holdback cable, and on the S6 class carriers, when they had jet aircraft after World War II, there was a cable that was hooked up to the bottom of the flight deck, and this little bar right here would hook the cable up to the cable, but then it hooks up to this aircraft. This is modular. So you see how it can be changed out? Now, here's the thing about this bar. And this is really cool. Can I take this out? Wait. I'm gonna hurt myself. But anyways, so the torsion bar is attached to the whole back cable. This little crevice right here, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So there are different types of torsion bars, all different shapes and sizes. In the modern Navy, they actually have the torsion bars up front and it's reusable. But the thing about these torsion bars is that they are disposable. Why? Because this is a steel bar. It's like a barbell. It weighs a little less than about 2 pounds. However, it is strong enough and designed and engineered to be strong enough that when this aircraft is on the flight deck getting ready to go, and let me pause there for a second. Here's a question for you. When an aircraft's on the flight deck and it's hooked up to the cable, and like you see in the movies, they're about to shoot it off, what do you think the pilot's doing? Are they giving the aircraft full power or are they just sitting there? No power, nothing. They're going to let the thing pull them and launch them off the flight deck.
Full power?
Full power. So here's the thing. This little cable, can it hold back an aircraft with going at full power?
No.
Yes. Yes. This is a special torsion bar because remember, all different shapes and sizes that is designed for the A4 Skyhawk, for its weight, for its payload capability, for its torque.
Wow.
But here's the thing. Up on the flight deck, when the green shirts are guys who help launch aircraft, when you hit the ready fire button of the catapult, which catapults we use like slingshots, firing aircraft off the deck. When they hit that button, this breaks in half.
But it's so strong.
It takes but here's the thing. It takes a specific amount of power and torque to be able to break it in half. Little too much and it'll go haywire. Too little, you won't go anywhere. So this breaks in half. It's designed for this aircraft and what it can and can't hold. Fuel capacity, weight, speed, it's all adjusted for. Same thing in the catapult room. But it's all designed from the ground up to be able to launch that one specific aircraft.
Wow. That's so cool.
Now on the same end, Ms. Spica, I mentioned a tail hook earlier. All carrier-based aircraft have a tail hook. It's basically a hook that when an aircraft's coming in, it kicks up its tail hook to grab a cable that's run across the flight deck. And that cable helps to pull it and take out its momentum. Here's the thing. When it catches that hook and it's on the flight deck, what do you think is happening? So it catches the hook cable and it's caught and they're supposed to stop, right? Do you think they're giving full power or no power?
No power?
Wrong again.
They're giving full power. Full power.
Full power. Full power. You know why? Because the cables are attached to these hydraulics that are underneath the ship. Well, not underneath the ship, but they're in a different compartment. They're run across the deck, and these two hydraulics help to pull and create tension to adjust. It give a little, so like a rubber band. It gives a little, but then they readjust for the speed and the weight of the aircraft. Then the cables start pulling, helping to adjust to stop the aircraft.
Oh.
Because if the cable didn't give a little and it was just there and it didn't move, the tail hook would break. But it catches that and it's able to take out the momentum. It's physics. Because an object in motion will stay in motion. So this is the tail hook I mentioned. This is the little hook. You see the crevice right here and how it's designed to catch the cable. So when the cable hits it, it gives. So show what my arms are doing, Mr. Cameraman. It hits it, it gives, and then it readjusts to be able to stop it.
Wait, how does it perfectly match where the cable is?
It's all, so it doesn't perfectly match. There are actually multiple cables that are run across a flight deck because, like I mentioned earlier, pilots are graded on their landings, not because of how pretty they look, as beautiful and demure as it would be. They are judged based on where they hit. So there are multiple cables on the flight deck. If they hit the 1, they're too early. They hit the 2 cable, they're a little too early again. They hit the 3 or 4, hey, you're good, perfect. 5, you're too late. And if you miss it all, you have to give full power and go back again and try again.
Multiple
So
tries.
they have multiple chances to be able to catch and land. But Navy pilots train for months, maybe even a year, before they get their hands on massive hardware and land on an aircraft carrier. Because landing on an aircraft carrier, and forgive me if there's somebody in the Air Force in the chat, landing on an aircraft carrier is one of the most difficult things in the world that you can do, because you're landing on a platform that's at sea and it's doing this. So imagine trying to catch something that's all over the place.
It must be hard. Any pilots in chat?
Are there any questions?
Any questions? What happens when a tail hook is broken?
What happens when the tail hook is broken? That's actually a great question. And I wish I had a picture, but that's really up on the flight deck. So what happens is, if the tail hook is broken, then the pilot has to give full power and go back again and try to land. Now, his tail hook's broken, but here's what happens. This is an emergency. They take they basically run a tennis net across the flight deck so they can play tennis. I'm kidding. But they have a tennis net they run across the flight deck that the aircraft lands like it normally would, and that tennis net, Miss Spica, I don't know if you've ever played tennis or if you've ever ran into a tennis net. I hope not. It sounds pretty painful. But when you run into it, the net helps to catch the aircraft and stop it. It's a last resort to be able to stop that aircraft without wasting the aircraft into the water.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's usually in case of emergencies. Any other questions?
Any other questions, guys?
How are we doing?
What is AAW? What is that? Huh? I think, oh, just one more. They're asking, can I have one of these planes? I guess how much would it cost? If you were a billionaire, would you be able to buy one of these planes?
100% you would. The Navy loves to give away old planes, but you got to be a billionaire for that one. But also, you can't have planes with weapons on it. They don't sell those.
Okay.
But mainly, the Navy tries to give those aircraft to museums, so that way we're able to teach the public about the history of the Navy, so the Navy doesn't have to spend money on that, but also teach the public about avionics and teach the future generation of pilots and hopefully inspire them. Because many pilots say that it was going to museums like the Hornet that inspired them to become naval aviators, which is not an easy feat at all. A good friend of mine is actually a naval pilot right now. Wow. We actually met when we first became tour guides here aboard the Hornet, and he's just got his wings and he's flying right now. So, he said the Hornet really inspired him to go off and be there. And someday I'll go to the fleet because I want to go to become a naval officer and hopefully be a surface warfare officer. So that's an aspiration. But we were all inspired by places like the Hornet.
Wow, that's so cool. Do pilots in training go through museum training?
No, they don't. Now, do they know the history of the naval aviation? Yeah, it's tradition. But they don't go through museum training necessarily.
What machine does your friend fly on?
He flies the I forgot what's variant, and Faye, if you're in chat, forgive me, but she flies the F-18 Super Hornet.
Super Hornet? Wow.
That is correct.
That's so cool. Oh, somebody asked, can you demonstrate the landing and launching signals?
I do not know the landing and launching signals because I am not an LSO. So I don't know what are the exact signals. But the launch signals, obviously, when they see the guy in the movie does that, that's the shooter. Shooters are wearing a gold vest to be able to show the signal to the people at the catapult control panel to launch the aircraft. But I don't know the exact signals, though. However, classically, during World War II in the early 60s and 70s, when LSOs weren't all fully automated, they aren't still fully automated, just there's more electronic systems. They used to have these little paddles, these flag things, to be able to show signals to a pilot where they need to land, but also if to wave them off in case of they're about to miss a cable. So
like
that's the best I got. Exactly, like light sticks. What's the dance?
Yeah,
It's,
the Wotoge.
There you go. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah.
No, I was just doing the Elvis thing. Oh. Hey there, Kirispica. Oh. Thank you.
Wow, this is the best tour ever.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what. Kirispica, she sings Blue Christmas. Have a blue Christmas. Next part.
I didn't know Elvis was my tour guide.
And, I don't know what you mean. I'm like a fried peanut butter banana sandwich. All right, this is the most important part of the tour. This is our out of order penny machine.
Oh no, rest in peace.
So if you come to CarrierCon and you ask for it, well, I'm just letting you know it's out of order right now.
How long until it will be in order?
I don't know. Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to get it in order. We're going to try. So, next aircraft we have. This is the S2 Tracker. Now, based off of this, and don't search it up. What do you think this aircraft was used for?
To track stuff.
It was used to track, yes. But what were they tracking?
Track other aircrafts or people or
No, they were tracking something.
submarines.
Submarines.
Oh
my god. I'm getting my boss is messing with me now. I'm not giving you the link. No. Oh boy, I tell you what, I get no respect at all around here. I'll tell you what, I go over here and they say, hey, you got to jump off the aircraft carrier. You jump next Tuesday. Boy, I tell you, no respect at all. But the S2 Tracker was an anti-submarine warfare aircraft. It was used to help locate by dropping sonar buoys. Sonar buoys are these little flotillas, but also they sink into the water and they help ping and send out sonar. Sonar is sound. Help ping to detect submarines in the water and send that information back to the aircraft carrier. However, it was also used in an anti-sub role in that it could drop what's known as depth charges. What is a depth charge? Ms. Spica, have you ever taken a water bottle or a soda can and gone in the pool and taken underwater or something like that?
Nope.
Okay, well, you weren't as curious as I was because I don't know why I was doing it as a child. But if you take a water bottle or a soda can, and a soda can is probably the best example you can give.
The bubbles.
Is that, huh?
The bubbles in the bottle top.
Well, you'll have some bubbles, all right. But you take the soda can, and as you take it deeper into the water, it has to have certain pressure that's adjusted to be able to account for the impact the water, because as water you get deeper in the water, it gets more dense. That's why we can't swim super deep into the water, and that's why you see animals such as orcas or giant squid and whatnot, their bodies can handle that compression of the water. But as you see here, the soda can gets deeper into the water, it starts to crumble up. And you can try that. It's a little science experiment. You can try that at home. But as it gets deeper into the water or a water bottle, it crumples up until it can be nothing. Because it breaks apart. Now, what does a depth charge do? Well, a depth charge is a bomb. And when they drop it into the water, their target are the submarines. Now, here's another question.
They sink it to the bottom to make it blow up, kind of.
Kinda. They don't necessarily, the explosive doesn't necessarily need to direct hit a submarine. You know what it needs to do? Just a teeny tiny flick.
It's a little bit.
You know what that flick does? That flick throws the pressure off of the submarine to where the flick blow. Sorry, my coworkers are messing with me. Anyways, that flick blows off the pressure to the submarine, that it starts crumbling up because the pressure's been thrown off, and then it sinks.
Oh no.
So it doesn't need to direct hit it. It just needs to throw its pressure off.
Wow. Makes it that sounds so easy.
Easy, but submarines are very good at hiding. That's why you have aircraft like the S2 that are able to find it.
Oh.
Now let's carry on.
Oh, how does it
Okay.
track submarines?
It uses its sonar buoys to be able to help track the submarines. They drop it in a perimeter within its range, and they use sonar to be able to ping off of each other and find those aircraft. I'm sorry, and find the submarines.
Oh. So no boys. So no.
Now, this aircraft, we're going a little old school. We were progressing, but now we're going back a little bit. This is actually one of the first jet aircraft that the United States Navy used. This is the FJ-2 Fury. Now, the FJ-2 Fury is small, light, and maneuverable. It somewhat resembles a MiG from the same era, which is a Russian aircraft, but it's not. But this aircraft was primarily used during the Korean War. It was one of the most advanced aircraft at the time because jet aircraft, as soon as we got out of the World War II, were the biggest and newest thing. But it didn't have a super long lifespan because it was later replaced in favor of the Panther jet. We don't have a Panther jet, so I won't go into that. But here's a nice little fun fact for you. I think I said it earlier. When the Navy doesn't want something anymore, they give it to...
They give it away.
The Marines. So this aircraft was used by the Marine Corps, which does have Marine aviators. They use the Marines use it for support ground-based actions. So, any other questions before we move on?
I saw like a mannequin on the other side. What was that?
A what?
Is that a mannequin or a person in yellow?
Oh. Well, that's Chuck. Say hi, Chuck.
Chuck. Oh, hi, Chuck. Who is he? What is he?
He just
doing?
He just kind of hangs around all day.
Oh, okay. Does he have a job
Yeah,
here?
no, Chuck's pretty cool. He's kind of a gamer. He likes to play Minecraft all day.
He's so locked in.
Yeah, that's actually his VTuber setup. So he has a camera right there. The screen, those are actually like 3 screens right there. He has like 3 monitors. So
Wow.
he's a VTuber. He
pro.
streams. He's streaming. See?
Hi, Chuck.
But that's just an example. So that's actually one of the hangar deck control not towers, but control center, because as on the hangar deck, when we're in flight operations, they're moving aircraft constantly. There are hundreds of people, and they are moving around to be able to launch aircraft. And there has to be somebody to help direct all that traffic.
Oh, wow.
So Chuck, thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Chuck.
This is a really cool aircraft because it's technically a movie star. So congrats, you guys get to meet a movie star today.
Wow. What movie has this one been in?
This is the Sikorsky Sea King. The Sikorsky Sea King was primarily used for recovery of pilots. So if a pilot goes down the water, and which is kind of scary, we don't want the pilot to get eaten by sharks, do we? The Sikorsky here would fly out from the aircraft carrier and go and retrieve the pilots. It is also responsible for recovering the Apollo 11 and 12 astronauts, but also on the other Apollo missions as well. So you'll notice these little things on the paint job showing the missions that the Sikorsky was responsible for recovering the astronauts.
Wow. Cute. It's got tattoos.
It does have tattoos. Now, the cool part about this aircraft is that this specific aircraft was actually used in a movie. How many of you are familiar with the movie Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks? Probably not many. No, I mean, if you watched it, great. It's an older movie.
Anybody? Okay, somebody's seen it. Yes. Multiple people have seen it.
I bet you people are like, wait, that's the guy who played Woody.
Great movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but probably my dad has.
This was the actual Sikorsky aircraft that was used to replicate the recovery of the Apollo 13 mission, failed mission, used to recover those astronauts when they splashed down in the water. So very cool stuff. And notice how big this is. So the Sikorsky is actually in some areas of the country, but also for years on end, was actually a fire and rescue aircraft. So still used in some areas today.
Oh, what's that green thing painted on there?
That is actually so the what? The frog?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Hopper.
Hopper.
Hopper doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a long time to live because he smokes. Don't smoke, kids.
Don't
Only
smoke.
you can prevent. Only you. Don't smoke. Don't smoke. Of course, the joke is that the Navy traditionally, not so much anymore, ran on two things: coffee and cigarettes. Well, we're more coffee drinkers. Let's not smoke is bad for you. It's bad for you. But the USS Hornet is very famous for one very significant event. Who can guess what that is?
What do you guys reckon? What is the USS most famous for? Apollo 11.
Apollo 11. And what year was Apollo 11?
Space. What year was Apollo 11, guys? What year was that? Why are they all saying different years? Somebody said 1911. Somebody said 1979.
Okay, definitely not 1911.
1969.
1969. 1969 was when Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, and Neil Armstrong first did the first manned mission to the moon, set foot on the moon, and came back to Earth successfully. The USS Hornet was the aircraft carrier that went out to sea when they splashed down to be able to recover them. So the USS Hornet was responsible for that. Now, as you see in this image right here, they were coming out of the Sikorsky helicopter we just saw.
Wow.
And as they're coming out, you notice these footsteps, they're going straight into turn around here. So I'll walk you through it. So I'm Mr. Armstrong. One small step for me, one giant leap for VTuber kind. But they walked these exact footsteps.
Oh, first footsteps.
Man, these strides are weird. But they walked these footsteps straight into a quarantine chamber.
How long did they stay there for?
2.5 weeks.
My God. How did they get food in there? Was it like past?
They had a little slot they put the food in.
Oh.
Basically, it's like you ever had a hamster? Yeah, it's like that.
This is their hamster box.
Exactly. But do you know why they had to quarantine, Miss Spica?
Because they just came from the moon.
But why though? Like, what's on the moon? Why they had to quarantine?
They don't know. They don't know what's on the moon.
Exactly. They might have space cooties. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
they might have space
how
cooties.
did they use the bathroom?
Well, I don't want to know that question. I don't think I want to answer that one. But they had a bathroom in here as well. It's basically a giant mobile home.
Oh, cute. Little hamster box.
Oh, let's see here. Okay. This is another aircraft. This is the Hut. This is the Hut Retriever. This was used primarily for search and rescue operations to recover pilots. So similar to the Sikorsky, not the exact same, a little smaller. It was used in the earlier phases of helicopter technology, which really became a thing after World War II, but still had a long service history. Now, the reason Hornet had so many air, not just jets anymore, is because later on in its service history, it became an anti-submarine warfare aircraft carrier. Anti-submarines, primarily, you use helicopters. Now, we'll go take a little sneak peek over here of another aircraft. We'll take a look at one of our latest restoration projects. So you guys get to get a nice look of what the progress is.
Wow. What are those seats for?
What's that?
What are those seats for? Do they have a purpose?
Yes, they do. It's it has a lot of historical significance. Ready for this?
Uh-huh.
It's so I can sit my fat butt down and I'm tired.
Wow, that's so useful.
No, we got to have some seats because so when you're here at the museum all day, your feet start aching. You need to get a little rest.
Okay.
We'll go over this one. And there's the flight simulator that doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No. When will it be in order?
And here's the dance floor that we use for different events.
Oh, awesome! Where did you have off season live?
What was that, Mika?
Where did you have off season live?
Actually, right here where we're standing right now.
Wow.
That exact stage is where we had off season live. So this is what the museum looks like when you're not doing off season live.
Wow, with all the lights on too.
Okay, so I mentioned it to you guys before, but we do all of our restoration work here in-house here in the shop. Matter of fact, I think they're doing something right now, but we won't disturb them. Oh wow, they got the roundel on it and everything. So any of you aviation guys, you might be clawing at the teeth right now, but here is our newest restoration project. This is the F4 Phantom 2.
Phantom. Oh, it's so shiny.
So paint, we're getting all the paint and all the decals on, but believe it or not, when I first came aboard here, and this is something about like 3 years ago, this was beat up, torn up. It looked terrible. It looked absolutely horrible. It was in bad condition, had been weathered. However, thanks to our restoration volunteers, she's looking good as new, doesn't she?
Oh, they're all volunteers?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's through support from donors and members and visitors that we are able to keep the museum around because we are a nonprofit organization and we do rely on donations and the support of the public to be able to continue to educate you guys about these aircraft. Because if we don't receive that support, the government does not fund museum ships. Just gonna let you guys know that right now. It's not a thing.
Oh.
We rely solely as our own organizations.
Oh, somebody wants to know, what do you need to know to volunteer?
The best way to volunteer is to go on our website. If you're any museum ship's website, not just the USS Hornet, but to go on the website, go to the Join tab, and you'll be able to go and fill out a volunteer form. And volunteering is open to anybody and everybody, no matter your skill level. You don't have to be into history. You don't have to be an aviation nerd. You don't have to be all into this stuff. Anybody who wants to give their time and service to the museum, but also to help keep the legacy of those who serve alive, we'll take you. Doesn't matter.
That's so cool. So you could learn how to restore the aircraft too?
Yes, you can. Anybody can join. Got to be 18 years or older. However, we do have a very cool program we do for high school students that helps give them job training by learning some STEM skills, but also some practical stuff such as welding and electronics.
That's so cool. Ooh. Somebody wants to know if the helicopter to the left is the same type as Marine One.
So this is the Sikorsky Seahorse. This was used for search and rescue, but this is the Marines one. This, if you see in the movie Full Metal Jacket, this was actually featured in there. This was primarily used as a troop transport.
Oh.
But it was one of the workhorses of Vietnam. And here's an example of it at sea.
Oh my god, it looks so cute. It looks so
nose.
big here, but in the photo it looks tiny.
It's got a huge nose. When you open up this compartment, I don't know if... Here's the engine.
Oh. Wow.
This helps to power up to get those rotary blades firing. Okay, we're going to head back over there, but are there any... Well, actually, no, let's head below deck. That way we're out of their way. Are there any questions I can answer?
Why does that plane have a flower in its nose?
So that was the actual detachment. It was attached to some helicopters were to this specific divisions. So that is the symbol of that Marine division.
Oh,
Well, not division, but that's squad, I believe.
the Flower Squad.
It's a flower child.
What is that?
Wait, we've lost signal down there for how long. Okay, we'll just keep walking this way, guys.
Okay.
Are there any questions I can answer while we're walking?
Any questions, guys? Any questions?
Any questions you have, Miss Spica?
Are we gonna be able to go to the top?
Well, I don't know, Miss Spica. Do you want to go to the top?
I do.
Okay, we'll go to the top then.
Yippee! Somebody wants to know, how big is this ship?
What was that?
How big is this ship?
This ship, can't get the number off the top of my head, but I know it's the length of several football fields. But it's about 18 decks. So we're on the 01 level, but there are multiple decks down below. Those are about 18. That some of these decks are actually below the water line. So if you go super down below in the Hornet's interior, you could be underwater.
Oh.
Not that there's water on the ship, but it's where the water meets the actual ship. So it's like you're on a submarine. Ooh.
Oh my god, it's huge. It's gigantic. Is this CV related to the USS Lexington?
Yes, it is. So USS Lexington CV-16 is a younger Essex class aircraft carrier. This is CV-12. This was the 12th United States aircraft carrier to be produced, but it was part of the Essex class. So it is related to USS Lexington, Yorktown, and Intrepid, which are still museums to this day.
How easy is it to get lost in the Hornet?
It is very easy. I think I've gotten lost several times, and I've hit my head more times than I can count.
My gosh, it's huge.
Okay. Miss Spica, this is the most important part of the tour. And I need you to really focus. I need you to lock in. I need you to be ready, okay? Okay. This is probably the most historically significant one ever. This is the escalator!
Wow!
Escalator.
I mean, right now it's just a staircase, isn't it?
Escalator.
Wow, it's a manual escalator.
As my cameraman catches up.
So does this escalator ever work?
It does work, but we rarely use it. We only use it for people who need ADA assistance. Okay. Folks, to the flight deck.
Wow,
This cameraman, give a little pan around.
It's huge. Oh my god. It doesn't even look like a ship from here. It looks like an airport area.
Well, it is an airport. Matter of fact, got an airport tower right up there. You see that? Right there. Hi, Kenny.
Hello.
Say hi, Kenny, everyone at home.
Yeah.
So, that is actually known as Pry Fly. That is the air traffic control tower. Usually in Pry Fly is the air boss. Now, the air boss is a guy who is responsible for all takeoffs and landings here on the aircraft carrier. Nobody takes off, nobody lands without his say-so. So I guess you could say he's pretty say-so, huh? Okay, sorry.
Wow. Say so.
I promise you it wouldn't be unhinged. But then again, I like ships, so, I get a little carried away. So we talked about the different versions of the Hornet. So this is CV-8. This is the one that sunk. I told you about. This is the Yorktown class. So notice how it's long, wooden flight deck. Then this is the Hornet we're on right now. This is the Gray Ghost Hornet. This is the Essex class carrier during World War II. Notice how it's still a straight deck carrier, right?
Gigantic.
This is post World War II. This is post World War II. This is in the 1950s and 60s. Still a straight deck, right?
Mm.
But now we get into the anti-submarine era. What's different?
It is angled, and it's got like a it's not. It's got a separate lane.
So they changed things, Miss Spica, because back in World War II, they used to launch aircraft from this position here. They need, the propeller planes needed some time to get up to speed and get off the deck.
Mm.
And during the 1950s, they had catapults, which we'll go over what the catapults do. But catapults were here at the forward part of the ship because that's where they can install them. And they had power to get them underway, because the reason we had catapults is because propeller aircraft are lighter, jet aircraft are heavier, so we need them.
Mm.
But in the modern configuration of the Hornet, the catapults are still here, the hydraulic catapults. Navy doesn't use hydraulic catapults. They believe they use steam, and now they use electromagnetic catapults. But they would still launch aircraft up here. But now, because they want it to be safer, because to say someone's landing on a straight deck and they could crash into an aircraft that's about to take off, right? Well, now you eliminate that. You have an angle deck that catches, and if it doesn't catch and it can't, and it's about to crash, it just goes off the side into the water, doesn't hit the ship.
Oh.
Now, Ms. Spica, let me ask you a question. Do you think the United States Navy came up with this idea?
I'm gonna say no, but I have no idea.
You're correct. Correct. The Navy didn't come up with this idea. The British Navy came up with that idea. I say, those Americans, they're stealing our things. I'm not so happy about that.
They just copied
Forgive
it.
me if you're British. I'm sorry. Or anybody at home who's British. I'm sorry. Anyways. So, we took the idea from the British Navy. The idea that the angle decks were smarter and safer.
I did not hear anything you just said. It kind of went a little windy there.
Got a little windy? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you?
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Kidding. All right, so where are we at over here? Right down that way is the F-14 Tomcat. So for all you aviation guys, that's what most modern jet we have here.
Oh, this is the most modern one. F-14? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. How aircraft are launched are through the catapults. Now, this shuttle system is connected to pistons down below that when they shoot forward, pulls this, and you see these cables, this hook up to an aircraft. This is known as the bridle system. So you know horses? Mm-hmm. Horses have a bridle. Basically, this is the horse, that's the horsey. I'm the aircraft, so I'm the rider. Plane hooks up to the bridle system, and when the horse takes off on the shuttle, takes it all the way down there, launching it at over 100 miles per hour. Then the aircraft catches wind, takes off.
Oh.
Now, if you'll remember that bar I showed you down below, the one that snaps in half, that holds that specific aircraft.
The yellow one.
So, yes, this is the holdback cable. Mm. The holdback cable is attached here, but notice how it has this little chunk right here. It connects to that bar. So the holdback, this is the other piece of the puzzle we saw. Mm-hmm. If we had the aircraft up here, I could show you how it connects, but I can't. So it's connected here, connected into the interior of the ship. Bam.
Wow.
Because aircraft generate so much thrust, they must have a method of getting rid of the thrust. So behind the aircraft, they are blown air. This is the jet blast deflection barricade. This helps to disperse the air, so that way, if I'm just a regular guy doing my work, and I happen to be close to the aircraft, and when it takes off, I don't get blown off the ship. It helps to disperse all the air. There's little grooves in there.
Oh, how? Wait a second. Sorry, it's cutting out. I'm trying to
Yes, ma'am.
understand how that works. With the plane?
We're starting to lose connection, so we're gonna head back over
Yeah.
here.
It's getting a bit choppy here. But it's nice
We're on
to
9%.
see the outside. Wow. It always looks so nice
Well,
here.
Well, someday, if you're ever in the Bay Area, you're more than welcome aboard.
When you have like Carrier Con, do cosplayers often come up here for photos?
Oh, they do. By the hundreds and thousands, they come up here. It's one of the best locations to be able to shoot.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. You can see the whole like city behind.
A lot of cosplayers like to do the interior of the ship. It gives them a better perspective, but also just looks cooler. Okay. Well, Ms. Spica, I think we have gone about an hour and a half. It's 4:30 right now. So I'll answer what little questions you guys got left, and we'll let Ms. Spica go and do her thing.
Okay, Chad, if you have any more questions, this is now or never. Okay, you have 5 minutes. What's your favorite thing about being a museum tour guide?
Well, I'm the only part-time tour guide. I mainly work on the staff here helping to market the ship. But I did start as a tour guide here. I became a docent about 3-4 years ago. And I think the biggest thing that I love is working with the vets, learning the knowledge from them, being able to tell their stories and being able to keep that information going, but also to help them know that their stories and their legacy is in good hands. So that's probably what I love the most about being able to show people the ship, because I love this place, man. I love it. It's really great.
How many planes are there on board now?
We have a collection of 9 total aircraft.
Oh, when?
We actually are getting a new aircraft, but I can't talk about that just yet.
Oh, it's special. Top
Very
secret.
special. Top secret.
When was the last time this ship was used for active Navy work? And when did it transition to being a museum?
So it transitioned to a museum in 1998 or 99, somewhere on the tip end of there. But it was decommissioned for the final time in 1972. And the Hornet, the last time it was really active was in 1969.
Oh, that was the Apollo thing?
Yes, the Apollo missions was its last real mission before it went off to be, obviously went into storage, and thank God that the Aircraft Carrier Hornet Foundation was made, because the Navy would have scrapped it, but they saved the carrier from being scrapped to be able to turn it into a museum.
Wow.
Any other questions before we go?
Yes.
I am informed that we are dying on battery power.
Oh no. How long did it take to convert the deck from wood to steel?
It's not steel. It's still wood.
It's still wood.
It's still wood to this day.
It's still wood. There we go. It was never converted. It took 0 time.
Teak wood. Teak don't leak. That's what they say. Teak don't leak.
How many AA guns did the Hornet have in World War II?
Oh, that varied from configuration, but I'd say easily over 100 different variations of anti-aircraft guns. Some bigger, some smaller, but that did change, because again, the whole premise is to keep aircraft away from the carrier so it can launch aircraft.
Oh, was the deck just painted to look like steel?
Yep. Matter of fact, there's a special turf that's on the floor right here that is meant to give more grip to tires.
Oh, wow. They want to say that you were very fun and they love you.
Well, Thank you very much, Chad. And thank you very much, Miss Kirispica, for doing this tour. And thank you for your support at the USS Hornet Museum. And we're looking very much forward to having you at CarrierCon. It's going to be a great time.
Yes. Oh, CarrierCon is going to be so exciting. I've never gotten the chance to experience it, so it'll be very fun.
Well, we're going to show you a great
it.
time, ma'am, and we're going to do our absolute best. So thank you very much. Thank you kindly.
Yeah. Also, you guys, you better be going to CarrierCon. It is happening March 22nd this year. That's next month. So yeah, you better put that on your calendars, okay?
Great stuff. Well, all right, Mr. Kirispica, I'm gonna let you go, but thank you again so much. I had so much fun showing you around. If you ever have questions, you could always message me and whatnot. But I will see you at CarrierCon in March, and we are looking forward to a great day.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the tour.
You be good, okay?
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Did you enjoy that? Was that fun? Was that fun? What, you want to know if he's single? How about you guys book your own tour and then you ask that, okay? How about you ask that if you're so interested? Book your own tour at the USS Hornet, okay? Yeah, go to CarrierCon. Experience it for yourselves. You booked your trip already. Yeah, I'm gonna be participating in CarrierCon as part of V-Dere, so get super excited for that. Yeah. That's dedication. Yeah. Should all give the USS Hornet some love because they were non-profit, by the way. And as you heard, with the very expensive elevator that costs, what's it, $3,000 just to run it? They need a lot of help in maintaining everything that they do with the museum and all that. So that's why CarrierCon is definitely super important to the USS Hornet, and everything. So it's just, if you buy a ticket, you're supporting the museum, and isn't that super wholesome? Yeah, you're not just sending your money to some random billionaire who owns an anime convention. This is for museum. This is for the preservation of history and everything. Yeah, Robert, thank you so much. Thank you for the tip. Thank you for the tour. No, it's not me. I didn't do the tour. Okay, you guys should actually go tour. Yeah, I hope this has encouraged you guys to want to visit the USS Hornet. Yeah, Suseki, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. This was quite fun. This was quite fun. It was quite interesting doing a virtual tour. Yeah. And if you want, you can become a volunteer if you live around like the same area. If you're in California, you could become a volunteer, is what he said, too. Yeah. Maybe you'll visit a museum ship near. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of museums would appreciate the support, because they're not necessarily government funded. They need help. Help your nearest struggling museum, okay? Yeah. So, quite a few museum ships in the US. Yeah, support local museums. Yeah. Cause I've heard about how CarrierCon has really helped the USS Hornet Museum with everything. Having this event really helps them out. So yeah, lots of positive vibes and everything. And plus, it's an anime convention on a ship. How cool is that? Yeah. There's an aircraft carrier a few hours away from me. I'd like to visit it sometime. Yeah. Buy CarrierCon tickets to see Spica go to space. I don't know if I'll be going to space. Yeah, and V-Fleet. Yes, guys, if you didn't know, they have like a whole VTuber project called V-Fleet, where their VTubers are based on, I think they're based on the ships, the aircraft carriers. Let me check that. But they're all really really lovely people. Yeah, you can meet your own VTuber ship VTuber. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd really love to visit one day, but I'm too far away. But I can definitely still visit virtually through the convention. Yeah, and all of V-Dere is gonna be there. Interstellar Clouds concert in space. That'd be crazy. Yeah. You want to become an astronaut? Wow. Wow, that's cool. Azure Lane, we're missing a game. USS Midway. I haven't played Azure Lane. I've only seen the visuals. The visuals of very pretty anime girls. Very pretty anime girls. Very cool. But yeah. If there are enough Wispicles volunteering, they can add a cloud drawing on one of the planes. What, a bunch of Wispicles just decide to volunteer? They're like, oh hey, while we do this restoration, how about we restore this drawing that suspiciously was not there before? Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm happy that I could spread awareness about the USS Hornet and also CarrierCon. Yes, don't you dare forget about CarrierCon. That is coming up so soon. Yeah. So, even been to the Hornet. It really is amazing in person. Yeah. Yeah, it's super cool. So, I hope you guys had a great time on this virtual tour. I hope you want to go on a real tour one day, go to CarrierCon and everything, or to your local museum if it's really far. That's okay. But yeah, thank you for coming to this stream. And tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow, which may be the day after tomorrow for those who live in lag, aka Americans. That will be singing piano song request stream, so I'll see you for that. Yeah, thank you for coming to the stream. Thank you, and bye bye.